Good day, welcome to your favorite sport program on TV360 Sport. It's another scintillating and exciting moment on today's program. We're speaking live directly to the co-chairman of the restoration of National Stadium in Lagos. And that's talking about retired Navy Commodore Nesema. For those of you joining us for the first time, I'm still Mudashiru Shitu. I'll be your anchor for the next few minutes as we speak right now with retired Navy Commodore Nesema. Hello, sir.
Hello, how are you?
We're fine, sir. Yet, you are at the National Stadium, and what's going on is the eviction of illegal tenant of the National Stadium, and this is part of the implementation committee that was set up by the Honorable Minister of Youth and Sport. Tell us what this project is all about.
Just going straight, I can tell you that this project is meant to address the recommendations of the task force that was set by the Honorable Minister earlier on in the year to audit the activities and processes of tenants' engagement at the National Stadium, a facility that is actually designed and used as a facility for different sorts of businesses, all sorts of people coming without effective management and control. And that has also contributed to the defacing of this national edifice. Based on that, the task force did their job and came up with some far-reaching recommendations. And it is those recommendations that this Ministerial Implementation Committee, headed by the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Youth and Sports Development, Mr. Gabriel Aduda, and my humble self, would be chairing. And we have commenced our work almost over 2 weeks ago. And this time around, we have come to the stage of actually ensuring that the illegal tenants are properly evicted and legally done, and the illegal structures are also demolished.
Interesting, but there have been a lot of protocols I understood took place before now. Was there a proper notification and procedures to give the illegal tenants enough time to evacuate before yesterday when we saw a bit of demolition of some structures?
Yes. Okay, I would correct an impression too.
Okay.
You have both illegal tenants and legal tenants. Illegal tenants, they are illegal, so you can remove them at will. But there are legal tenants that are occupying illegal positions. There are legal tenants that are giving legal allocations, but temporary, that have built permanent structures on areas that are not designated for such purposes. So it now turns into an illegality, even though you're a legal tenant, but operating illegally. So all those things are the complications, which we have tried to address now. So coming to your question about whether there was proper notification, yes. We gave the illegal ones even 7 days notice according to law to vacate the premises or will be forcefully evicted. Based on human considerations, we extended the 7 days notice by giving another 7 days notice of the government's intention to recover property, making a total of 14 effective days. And within this period, we have had several engagements with these tenants and explaining the whole situation. And I'm glad to report that almost 90% of them attended the briefings and were quite satisfied with the position that the ministry has taken, and especially the fact that there is going to be a better outlook that will be beneficial to everybody, both the athletes, the business owners, and all other users of this facility. So they have cooperated well, and that is why we've not had any serious altercations. In fact, we've not had any.
Okay.
People are cooperating. Most of them have moved out.
Yeah. Regards to your question, some stakeholders that said the timing is wrong as regards to the COVID-19 pandemic, that though a good initiative, but the timing, they could have extended it because of the whole country was at a lockdown. So the economy is just gradually coming back to life. That it's still going to be so much burdensome way of life for both the legal tenant and illegal tenant. Don't you think that it could have been better off if there's an extension of time to accommodate everybody in this period of COVID-19?
I will tell you without mincing words, this issue of eviction did not start actually 14 days ago. It has started since the minister paid his first visit to the stadium and saw the state of affairs. A warning notice was given that the stadium will have to recover itself. The occupants were told that there will be no need for them to extend their rents beyond December 2019. For those that have not paid, they should not bother. 2019 is the last date of payment, meaning that by June 2020, they shouldn't have any reason to remain because the landlord now has legal enablement to recover the property after 6 months of illegal tenants. So the notification actually started since last year.
Okay.
Now, coming to the reason why this COVID period, nobody knew COVID was coming.
Nobody.
COVID came on us. But with or without COVID, this exercise would have taken place. With or without COVID, a lot of the tenants already were aware that this exercise was coming. It only happened that COVID came that kept them for most part of this year. I actually, and the committee as a whole, sympathize with them. And that is the reason why we have kept on engaging constructively. And I can tell you for sure that a lot of them understands the reason. The truth again is, if we don't do it now, when? It will even be more difficult and it will be more tasking to move people that are already settled in and doing their businesses out. To move athletes that are already carrying out training activities out. This is actually the best time to carry out this kind of activity in order to bring back the stadium to be attractive for future and more effective reconstruction and utilization.
Well said, sir. But can we give Nigerians the opportunity to know the duration and that is expected that this to go on, and whether now that some of the non-contact sports are coming back to life gradually, will they have the opportunity of using the facility even between the period to get the stadium back to the original plan?
Again, my committee was given a mandate to see this activity or exercise through in 8 weeks, meaning that the minister is in a hurry to ensure that we get the stadium to a state that will make it ready for any other development, including adoption, concession, and what have you. I'm made to understand that there are some people already interested in adopting the pitch and some other of the facilities to renovate and probably manage. Those things are in place. 2 days ago, there is a publication for a request for RFQ that was put out for interested concessionaires to bid. That goes to show that there is speed in the whole arrangement so that the stadium can get back to the glory days, whereby sporting activities can take place safer. Because the way the stadium is currently, it is really very unsafe to carry out any serious sporting activity. If you take a tour of the facility now, you discover that the terrace seats, most of them actually have, the weather has taken a toll on them, and there is serious degrading of the facility. There are holes whereby if you even sit on some of them, you can drop down to the base. And these are serious safety issues and of serious concern to the sports minister. So we would not actually want a situation whereby athletes return to start training or spectators come back to this facility in the state it is. It is unsafe and it will not be allowed.
Okay. Thank you very much. We're going on a quick break. Don't go away. We're getting a lot of comments from our viewers as regards to what we said. But we're going on a quick break. When we come back, we'll be asking you 2 or 3 questions before we can let you go. Just hold on. Yet speaking with us is the co-chairman of the Restoration Committee of the National Stadium. Since the present Minister of Sports, Youth and Sports Sunday Direct resumed office, his plan and agenda is to take the National Stadium to the original plan. We'll go on this break. When we come back, we'll hear more about these plans.
In the last 3 years, we have built a multi-purpose center, which is the envy of all in our constituency. And I can tell you that the people who are living there are already enjoying it.
Guy, do you think what this man just said is true? See, I seriously doubt. I'm sure it's one of those their silly lies.
And wait, do you know there's a way to find out if these things he's saying is true or not? This is the Construct app. It gives people like us a sure way to track implementation of constituency projects. It gives valid and verified information on location of projects, amounts allocated, amount funded, the level of job done, and even the profiles of concerned legislators. You and I can post directly on this app.
Are you serious?
This is the Go-To app if you want to know how our Commonwealth is being expanded by the government.
Wow. Let's even see if what this man said is true. Show me.
The Construct app is developed by Other Paper Nigeria with support from USAID and is available on both Google Play Store and Apple Store.
And it's true.
Of course, I told you.
Yeah, welcome back. This is 360 Sport. We'll be speaking with the co-chairman of the Restoration of the National Stadium. A lot of people will be glamoring to see the National Stadium in its old glory. A lot of people also, we know that surroundings around the National Stadium is not befitting for the National Stadium in Surulere. That's why we are speaking with the co-chairman of the Restoration Implementation Committee, talking about Naval Commodore Nesiama. And hello, sir.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Yeah. My question, as we round up for the program today, give us a picture of what the stadium will look like so that we can be hopeful that this will go on as promised, because historically we know the past administrations and the past ministers wanted something like this, but that did not see the light of the day. Tell us what we should be expecting after the restoration to his old glory.
What I can tell you right now is that the restoration is going to bring back the glory of the National Stadium that has truly made it to be called a sports city. It's going to be better than the way it was. It's going to be more modern and have additional facilities that will enhance support to the activities of sporting activities of the stadium that was lacking in the past. Businesses will be better structured. Athletes, training, and the organization will be better managed. It is not going to be a free-for-all or business as usual kind of setting. We want to ensure that the stadium actually maintains and remains the pride of sports, the sporting community in Nigeria. So coming into this facility will give you a sense of pride. Whether you're coming as an athlete, or a sportsman or woman, you're coming as a spectator, you're coming as an administrator, you're coming as a business owner that has things to do with support of sporting activities, you are coming as a tourist, because we will not remove tourism out of this. People should actually be able to come into Lagos and get to the National Stadium as a tourist plan. And it means that they could actually find a way to even live around the stadium, shop around the stadium, discuss and see things about the history of the stadium and our sports personalities. Meaning that there could be a gallery where you could visit and see what happened, why are these stars having their statue or models or what have you in this area. What did they do? What was their contribution? All these things can attract both international and national tourists. And all these ones will be sources of revenue generation that will also help to ensure the proper management and maintenance of the facility. So everything is all-encompassing, and these are the things that we plan to do. And I'm happy that the minister has given us a full mandate to see that we come up with a report after this exercise that will actually bring about momentum, further momentum in whatever plans and vision that he has.
Well, sir, I'm sure our viewers, they're really motivated with this. But can you give us a stipulated time between tools? I mean, when is the rest of the evacuation and breaking down of illegal structures? When is it going to end? And when will the restoration process begins? When will this evacuation end? And when we will see the signs of what you've said so far? When will it commence?
Okay, the restoration has started.
Okay.
It starts with the eviction. It starts with the removal of illegal structures, and it will continue with the RFQ that has gone out for people to bid. Then the government will decide on the best possible, best concessionaire or best bid and negotiate and continue the development. But our committee will come up with a source material, a brief that will aid that process. And that is why the minister did not want a situation where we stay for too long in this phase. This phase will end in about 5 weeks' time.
Okay.
Maximum 5 weeks, this phase has ended. We'll move into the next phase. By the time this phase is ending, the phase of the bid
begins.
Would have been concluded also. Okay. So once that concludes, then we can start seeing development processes, effective renovation, effective restructuring taking place.
Yeah.
By the end of the year, we would have got clear direction. So before the end of this committee's assignment, there's going to be a kind of model drawing, pictorial drawing of what certain aspects of the facility will be looking like, so that people will actually appreciate the effort and the direction of the minister.
Yeah, let me excuse to cut you short in that. My last question, because of that time. The MKO Abiola Stadium in Abuja, the National Stadium in Lagos, where's the next for this restoration, innovation to bring back the glory of stadia in the country? Is that the next after the National Stadium in Surulere?
The National Stadium Abuja, you mean?
Yes. Where's the next place after the Abuja Stadium, the MKO Abiola Stadium, this present one? Is there the next one you're going to after this?
Well, for now, my mandate is on the National Stadium Surulere. I don't even have a mandate to talk about the MKO Abiola Stadium.
Okay. It's good having the co-chairman of the restoration of the National Stadium in Lagos talking about retired Naval Commander Nesiama. He has given us all answered response to the questions, and I'm sure the glory days of the National Stadium will be back in full effect. Places like the OJ's Entertainment, the popular Madam Swan, and the old schools will be evacuating probably after 17 years, some of them. Like OJ's has been there for almost 18 years. Those days will be over. The days of hoodlums, the days of unnecessary fights within the stadium is going to be over. And we'll be looking forward to a new National Stadium in Surulere. This is all we could take on today's program. I'll say a big thank you to our viewers who have been keeping tab. Your messages are coming in. We'll have more appropriate time to read this. Yes, I also want to say thank you to those behind the scene for making this an interesting one. Yes, this is where we're going to draw the curtain for today's program. I remain Mudashiru Shitu. And like I do say at the end of every program, enjoy the rest of your day. Bye for now.